Hey, everybody, it's David here with Tax Growth Con, and I have one of our amazing speakers here with me today, Mr. Stan Phelps, one of the key players, honestly, that I've known this guy for several years and has been a good influence, a huge influence in a lot of ways, but most memorable to me, which is customer experience and trying to get those little extras. And he'll share some of that with you, I'm sure, but the guy is incredible. And so I don't want to take away all this good stuff. So Stan, how are you today, man?
I'm doing great. I'm excited. We're, weeks out now.
Yeah, we are. So tell us where you're from.
So born in Pennsylvania, grew up in New York, but I now live in North Carolina.
Man, that sounds like a little, I guess, a circle.
A little bit. I'm in an area called the Triangle. So my office is in a place called Research Triangle Park near Raleigh.
Okay, cool, man. And so tell us what you do. What do you do?
So my background is I spent 2 decades as a marketer. I thought marketing was kind of broken. It led me on a path of starting to write. That writing became one book that then became a whole series of Goldfish books. So now what I do for the last 10 years full time, I'm an author and a speaker, and I work with clients that want to create a differentiated experience.
And tell me some of your, I mean, not to brag, but can you share some of your clients that you worked with in the past that are really notable?
Yeah, so everyone from the big ones like IBM or UPS or Target, all the way down to, small businesses. For me, it's about how do I help my clients create a culture where their employees feel engaged and have the ability to create that strong, differentiated experience for the customers that they serve.
Wow. Well, that's really cool. I read The Purple Goldfish. I can't remember how many years ago. It had to have been 10 years, I'm guessing. Is that about right? Is that
when it came out in 2012. So it just hit its 10-year anniversary. And since that had come out, I've done a 2.0 of that book. And you nailed it before. Purple's all about doing little things, little signature things that resonate, and give your customers, to be honest, a reason to talk about you and the service that you provide.
It's funny, and I look back because I don't know how we connected. I know it was through one of the organizations I'm with, but then I don't know how I went deeper on it. And so one of the first books, because I tell people I really wasn't a great leader early on. I didn't know how to lead people, and I really truly wasn't somebody who was into personal development. Like I knew about like getting better, but I didn't know how, and I didn't know what to do. And when I started to learn more, and this was purely kind of business related, I said, I mean, if I'm going to do something, let's figure out how to be better to our customers. And then I ran into your book, and then I actually made my whole team read it together. And that was interesting because that was like probably the first book I ever, this is going to sound bad, forced my team to read. But it was one of the coolest because you don't understand. I guess you inspired a lot of creativity. And so my team was like excited to read it. It wasn't just the boring, let's build a better team, or I'm not saying that those are boring, but you know what I mean, right? And
right.
It got us to think so much differently. And I'm so excited now because one of your newest books it really touched me, and it helped me think a lot differently as well, which is about employee engagement, right? Is that the kind of the synopsis of it? Can you explain?
Yeah. So the realization for me, David, was when I wrote a book. Again, I'm a marketing guy, so I thought, the sun rises and sets on the customer,
yep.
Right? And it's all about creating that word of mouth, which we all know is the best form of marketing that we can do. But what I realized, and I appreciate you sharing the book with your team, I studied over 1,000 companies for that first book, over 1,000 examples, and I started to see the patterns of how you could do it. But this was the big realization, an aha moment for me, is that the companies that were like my Hall of Famers, David, the ones that really got it, that did a number of signature things, they actually put someone ahead of the customer. And it was, they put a greater emphasis on their team members, their employees, and they employed the exact same principle. So they went out of their way to do little things for their team members. And that led to more engaged team members that then created that great experience for the customer.
You know, it's so funny because when I heard you do this presentation was about maybe a year or two ago. I came back to my office and all I could say, I went to my wife was with me and I said, we got to figure out ways to do something better for our team. And it went deeper, Stan, like it went more than just, oh, here's a gift. Like I thought, how can we help some of these people? And I don't want to say these people, some of our team members is, how do I help them get to their first home? Or how do I help them improve the quality of their life for their children? Like I thought deeper because of the things you shared with me. And it wasn't, I mean, it could be materialistic things because we did that, you know, bigger awards, more opportunities, like that was cool. But I really wanted to make, and I don't care how big your business gets, in my opinion, there's always going to be a core group of people on your team because it goes down. The bigger the company, the less connection you have to the bottom. That sucks to say, but that core is who you really need to engage with every single day. And your book is just really hitting that hard. So what will you be sharing with us at the event?
So at Tax Growth Con, I'm super excited. We're going to do, I think I have 3 hours scheduled. So we're going to do, it'll be a little bit of a keynote in the beginning to talk about this concept of a green goldfish. But what I would love the opportunity to do is then to go deeper. And from what I've studied, David, there's 15 different ways beyond dollars that you can drive engagement and reinforce the culture for your organization. 15. And so we'll kind of delve into the kind of 3 major groups. So you have what we call the building blocks at the bottom, kind of the foundational stuff that you need to do. You know, like blocking and tackling, right? It's like you got to get this stuff right before you can go and do the higher level stuff. The middle stuff that we'll talk about is the second B. It's called belonging. And that's things like recognition, team building, transparency. And then ultimately, like at the top of the pyramid is stuff that you do to help your team members become the best version of themselves, right? So that's training and development. That's things that you do to pay it forward to the community, right? Get them involved in a sense of purpose. It's about, you talked about your most important team members. It's about empowerment, right? How do you give them the opportunities to learn and grow? And we'll jump in with exercises. It's going to be, you're going to walk away with ideas. And I appreciate you saying you walked back to your office with a ton of stuff that you wanted to do. That's my goal. I want people to have actionable strategies that they can be thinking about when they go back, when they leave Dallas.
There you go, man. Well, I'm totally excited because now that you're referencing some of the things, because I mean, obviously this was a year or two ago, and I'm starting to think back, like, okay, what did we do when we came back? And I kept on thinking, honestly, that whole weekend that I saw you, I think we saw you over 2 days. I just kept on thinking, how do I engage with my team at a higher level? Because I think that the most challenging part as a leader in an organization is to continue to focus on the people, because you tend to focus on yourself or the growth strategy, because that's just initially what we're supposed to do. But I think the greatest leaders, the greatest of great, always put their team first. And
here's the thing. I don't think it's always been important, but I think right now it is absolutely critical. You know, since they've been tracking unemployment, this is the lowest number. And it's amazing, coming out of a pandemic, we're at the lowest level of unemployment. You have 1.8 jobs available for every job seeker that's out there looking. And here's the thing, it's not about just paying more.
Nope.
Because here's the thing, if people who are easily, that money is all that they care about, they can easily be bought.
Yep. I
So
know
it's
that.
about doing the little things to honor the relationship, to treat your team members like they matter. And this is so simple, if you treat them like they matter, they will.
That's so simple. That's so simple, right? I don't want to get off track, but I thought about you when we booked you a few weeks back. I went on a Sunday, we were off that day, and I went to go get a foot massage. And I was like, man, this is so good. And I thought, how many of my team members could benefit from this? And so I bought a bunch of gift certificates and I'm giving it to them. And I'm like, man, and I told them, you deserve to spoil yourself every now and then. Right. And, maybe they'll go, maybe they won't, but I'm hoping that it wasn't even just because I wanted to just give them something. I thought this is like something everybody needs to experience. It's so funny that I'm saying this live on camera, but it's like, man, this is such a good experience. We all need to do this.
Right.
So anyways, man, I'm not going to steal any more of your time, because I know, just to be clear, everybody who's going to be there is going to totally benefit from this. If you are watching this and you're struggling to either build a team, or you have a team and you're struggling to continue to connect and to keep them motivated and engaged, you do not want to miss this opportunity to see Stan. And this is an event I promise you don't want to miss. Stan, you want to leave us with anything?
No, other than if you haven't already signed up, I look forward to seeing you. It's going to be a great couple days, right? It's going to be awesome.
Thank you so much. Now, everybody, if you haven't gotten your tickets, they're going to sell out soon. It's taxgrowthcon.com, May 17th through the 19th in Dallas, Texas. This event is something different, like nothing that's been done before. Many of us have gone to those conferences, those seminars where we get continuing education. We get that knowledge that we need in the tax industry. But to be very honest with you, there's nothing out there. That's why this is going to happen, is there's nothing out there that focuses on your business. And although we may think we're the best tax professionals, being the best tax professional isn't going to keep you growing. It has to be through marketing. It has to be through team creation. It has to be through value driving to your business. And at Tax Growth Con, that's what we're going to work on. And Stan's going to help us really engage with our team, because without a team, guys, you're going to be working for the rest of your life. I honestly, and I hate to say it that way, but having no team is one of the worst feelings, when you really know you want to be able to spend more time with your family. You want to be able to do the things you love. You never will experience true freedom when you don't have the ability to say, I can depend on you. And that's what Stan's going to cover. So please, again, taxgrowthcon.com. Thank you, Stan. I appreciate your time today. We'll talk soon.
I've got one last thing.
Oh, go for it.
Here's the thing, because I'm going to talk about green goldfish. This is one of my favorite sayings. When you're green, you're growing. When you're ripe, you start to rot. Come out, learn, grow, get ready to take your business to the next level.
Wow, that was powerful. Guys, if you didn't get that, go back and listen to this, man. Thank you so much, Stan. We appreciate you, and we look forward to seeing you at Tax Growth Con.
Awesome.